welcome to the Let's Think About It podcast, where we embark on a journey of thoughtfulness and personal growth. I'm your host, Coach Mo, and I'm here to guide you through thought-provoking discussions that will inspire you to unlock your full potential. In each episode, we'll explore a wide range of topics from self-discovery and mindfulness to goal setting and achieving success. Together, we'll challenge conventional thinking and dive deep into the realms of possibility. Whether you're looking to find clarity in your personal or professional life or seeking strategies to overcome obstacles, this podcast is your go-to source for insightful conversations and practical advice. So find a comfortable spot, chill, and let's embark on this journey of self-improvement together. Remember, the power of transformation lies within you, and together we'll uncover the tools and insights you need to make it happen. So let's dive in. Welcome to another episode of the Let's Think About It podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo, and I'm here with another amazing guest, and her name is Sandra Kamayu. So where are you checking in from?
Right now, the Gambia, which is right next to Senegal. It's in Africa, the motherland.
What should I know or the audience know something great about the motherland in your area?
Oh, man, like the motherland is homecoming, right? It's for those people that haven't, for the Black people listening that haven't been home, you got to come home. There's nothing like it. I think if you were adopted and you finally meet your birth family, is that feeling of, oh, it makes sense. And it wasn't, there was nothing wrong with me. It all makes sense. And that's the feeling that you can only get when you come home anywhere on the continent, period. So definitely come home, y'all. Come home.
I love that. And that's one of the things that's on my bucket list is to come to Africa. And I'm connected with you. So
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. So tell my audience who you are, what you do, and the type of value that you bring.
Got it. So I'm Sandra, mother of three, and I'm mother of three, a wife. Let me say that before my husband comes for y'all. But I'm also the person that women call when they are tired of hearing everybody else say to them, you should be a coach. I'm the one they call when they feel overwhelmed. They're tired of watching all the webinars and reading all the books. They're tired of hiding in plain sight. And they really want to build a business that's going to take all of their skill set and everything they're currently giving away in corporate America and turn that into a business that's thriving without having to dance on TikTok. I'm that coach for that woman.
Okay, let's take a step back. How did you develop the mindset to want to help women in business around this whole coaching philosophy that you carry?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. There are key points in my life. I was never chosen. I didn't feel chosen. I felt very much, I failed a lot in my life, failed sixth grade after skipping fifth grade. And so that was happening back in the days in Cameroon. And so I had a big party when I passed fifth grade and skipped it basically, right? So she's a genius. And then get to sixth grade and fail sixth grade and had to repeat it. And I remember my dad telling me after he grounded me for 2 months, like I was in my room, no human contact. This is Cameroon. So don't call child supportive services. Like these things were happening in my time. I'm sharing the story to say that there's nothing when you look at me at 11, 12 that will say coach, right? And because of that failure, because I got pregnant at 21 when I was supposed to be going to medical school, because I got disowned, I had front row sit at what it looks like to be a disappointment and a failure, and also having people give up on you. And so I spent my 20s hiding in plain sight and being the CEO of the hiding in plain sight community. And what I saw there was so many people with so much talent. I'm talking about the most talented people you will ever meet. And you know them because you're sitting at family barbecue and places with them and they're like, man, they have better advice than you. They could be podcaster. They know everything about everything, but they just have never launched. And so even though I was hiding, my calling was calling me. So in the hiding club, I was trying to get people. I was trying to coach people, child. Do it. And then I realized, Sandra, that's a little bit of you being a hypocrite. How are you going to lead a movement while you hide. How you going to give all these good advice? You've given up on yourself. You still that little girl that fell sixth grade. What does it look like? Bishop Jake used to have this, I think it's probably still on YouTube, where he talks about like most of us have never seen what performing at 100% looks like. So what would it look like if you dare to just explore the idea of what 100% could look like for you? And so I decided to get on this journey of self-discovery. I decided to do the thing that I had been doing since I was 8 years old, what I call helping people, guiding people, and realized there was actually value there. Not everybody thought the way I thought about things. And I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My dad has been an entrepreneur for almost 50 years. My mom also. I worked as a business analyst and project manager. That was my last job before I went into business coaching full time. And I'm scared and I'm afraid, but I'll be there if I'm on my dying bed and I realize that I allowed fear and safety to me. Spending a lot of money on coaching because I didn't know what I didn't know. And here we are now, 7 years later.
That's awesome. And I'm going to go here before we tap into the work that you do to help people grow and things like that. I talk a lot about becoming a leader of self. It starts there. And part of that concept is how we as individuals approach the inner critic, limiting beliefs, overcoming fear, things like that. And I can imagine you on the up and coming, the rise, the biases you dealt with, some of the discrimination, the microaggressions, things like that, that created your inner critic to grow in mega size, right? Generating certain fears, certain limiting beliefs. What was it in your approach and how you overcame that for yourself to leap over those barriers, to tame the inner critic, overcome limiting beliefs? What was that for you and how did that look like?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go here. So when I decided that, and it starts with a decision, right? I decided I was tired. I was so bad that on my vision board, I said, oh my gosh, going live. And I told my husband, I remember this. I said, babe, if I can just get over my fear of going live and people like watching me, babe, I'll blow up. Like that was on my vision board for the year. If I could just, he was like, oh, good luck. And I was like, yo, that's how bad. Because I think sometimes when people watch us, they feel like, oh man, she got it. She always was it. I wasn't. I was not. But I remember telling God, like, I see myself on stages. And that's crazy because I can't even wear red lipstick. Like I'll go to a party, I'm in a corner somewhere. But I feel like that's what you've called me to do. What should I do? So I'm thinking he's going to give me like a roadmap, a blueprint, like a thing. He's like, you sure? I'm like, I'm sure. And he said, all I need you to do, it's simple. I just need you to exercise every morning. I want you to get out of your house and take a walk. 10,000 steps now. Hold on. Yeah, we're going to get clients on these walks at 6 a.m. because I'm working a 9 to 5. So this is early in the morning. And it didn't make sense to me because it didn't seem connected. But God knew something about me, which was that I was a starter, but not a finisher. And he knew that, yes, you can therapy your way into healing. You can affirm your way into that next version of yourself. You can also understand that confidence comes with mastery. And that what I needed to do was rewrite the story, not in a hee ha ha ha, I believe in myself, but in I'm the type of girl that's going to take this walk, even though every morning at 5:45, she gives herself a whole list of reasons why she's not going to take this walk. I'm tired. The baby didn't wake up. Man, who walks in the middle of the snow? Man, all of these things I will tell myself so the inner critic, all these excuses every day for like maybe 6 months. It didn't get easier. But what happened was, as I walked, I started looking at myself differently. Girl, you did that. We do what we said we're going to do. We honor ourselves. And so it changed everything. Just that honoring of becoming the person who did what she said she was going to do in the little way became bigger and bigger. I started being able to trust myself because up to that point, I couldn't trust myself. I couldn't trust myself to skip a grade and then succeed. I couldn't trust myself to become a doctor. I had so many failures stacked up that like the walking, just that one act that for some people is like, girl, that changed everything for me.
That's powerful. That's powerful because that's one of the things I really try to encourage with my clients is you got to get the reps in. And whatever that is for
Yeah.
yourself, like for you, it was walking. And through walking, there's a lot of reflection, right? Thinking through dynamics, that's the rep. And as you continued that habit, your confidence grew and it grew. And here we are, a powerful
Here we are.
coach.
I love the idea of reps because I'm not an athlete, which is probably why God was like, we're going to do the one thing we know you don't want to do, the hardest thing. But I admire athletes and I tell my clients, if you looked at business the way athletes look at their work, you will always be successful because they're in love with taking the reps, right? You're going to practice. You want to just, oh, so you want to, the first time you play basketball to become Kobe Bryant. Oh, so you just want to get into the NBA. Right. And so for us, for businesses, aspiring businesses, for my clients, I tell them, oh, so you want your first life to be a sold out life. You want your first webinar to make $100,000. And we do that for business, but we don't do that for nothing else because it's not realistic. So I love that you said reps and I love sport because it's that long game. It's that all you can do is show up. You show up and hope that you are outworking everybody else, but it's you against you. And so I love that.
And that takes me to the concept around leadership, right? Because I'm sure you work with a lot of women in leadership and helping them get out of their own way. If you're trying to elevate your leadership skills, whatever that skill is, surrounded by leadership, you got to get the reps in. And it's you got to do more than just train to go to a training. You got to practice. You got to incorporate the reps. So that's really powerful. And I'm gonna go here because I want to tap into more of how you help your clients. Tell me who your clients are and what do you do to help them?
Yeah. So, Michael, it's funny you asked that because we always mission down and like refining. And so, who she is 7 years later, who I know I get success with, is different than who I thought she was 7 years when I started. But we've identified that the women that we do really great work with are women that have a track record of success. So, you're talking about women in corporate America doing really well, or you're in a helping profession like a social worker, a therapist, a nurse, or you are in IT or business analyst, data analyst, people that are having to use their brain a lot and make decisions and all that stuff, because that translates really well in business. So you have the reps. Because I'm not one who feels like, oh, you can be a coach and you get to be a coach and not everybody's called to be a coach, please. Not everybody. And that's okay. But these women that are putting in the reps without even realizing that's what they are doing translates so well, especially when they have that layer of wanting to help other people, especially the ones that are already the teacher and the leader and the coach in their friends group and all that. Like those are the women that it's almost like a seamless transition. And those are the women that we do our best with. So that's my target audience. That's who I'm called to help in this season. Maybe next year will change. But in this season, these are the women that we do our best work with.
Okay. As you were talking, I'm thinking of your client base and these women, they bust their ass and they got to the top of the food chain. They're doing their thing. How do you help them lead under pressure though? They're feeling the pressure and they're losing, let's just say, their mojo, but they don't want to show the outer world that they're losing their mojo, but they know inside something just isn't right and they can feel the burnout coming. How do you help those women?
So what I have come to, and it could be controversial, but like my take on this is that you're not burnt out. It could be that you're misaligned. Okay. Because I feel that for me, and in my experience, a lot of the time when I'm talking to these women, is that chapter is over. Like that chapter is over. It's time to graduate. It's time for the next thing. It's time to become that next phase or that next version. Purpose is calling your name.
Right.
It can feel like burnout. What felt like ease and what felt like now is hard. Now it's a struggle. Now you're like, I don't know who to be. I don't like it. Feel like I'm overwhelmed and all these things. But if you were really in your purpose, you might be tired. I need a break because we all do. But I think a lot of the time that's symptoms of being misaligned, right? And a lot of these women didn't pick the profession they are in because they felt like it was their purpose. Let's be real. Like a lot of the nurses I know, it's not because it was like, for some it is, but for a lot of them, it's not because when I was a kid, I wanted to be a nurse. It's because when I looked at the landscape, that was the job that was going to pay the bills. So I'm here for a check. And so now that you've accomplished all the things, right? You have the house. Things are a little bit like it's not survival mode anymore. The higher version of yourself is knocking at the door saying, okay, sis, all right, how long are we going to do this? Okay, how long? Because this is not all that it was meant to be. And I think that's where that feeling of like misalignment that a lot of people call burnout shows up and opens up. So one thing I would say is exploring what season are we at? Are we still supposed to be investing at this job, even this title now? My thing is always, is entrepreneurship calling your name? But even if it's not, because not everybody is supposed to be an entrepreneur, is it time to explore what else you want to do? Or do you feel like that's the next thing and that's what you have to do? So I feel like it's really asking the questions around what is this moment really telling you about where you should go next?
I like that word you said about misalignment. What registered to me when you said that is your values. Are your values still in alignment with your purpose?
Come on.
Wherever that is that alignment still matched with your business, your organization, your school, whatever? Is that still there? And when I'm hearing you, I take it to the point of my understanding of it is helping a person reconnect with their core values because those values are offline, right? Maybe there's certain judgment that you're carrying, a certain limiting belief that you're carrying, a certain fear that you're carrying, a certain assumption that you're carrying, and it distracts you away from your values and you're off track.
Let's go.
And then when you're off track, you can feel the pressure. You can feel the burnout coming.
Yeah.
But when they work with you, us as coaches, and we help realign them to their core values, their confidence comes back. Their mojo comes back.
Yeah.
How true is that?
1,000%. And for somebody who's not an athlete, I think of it like, in my mind, if I was an athlete, you're a basketball player and you're really good, but they have you in the wrong position. And can you imagine Kobe Bryant? And I don't know what his position was, but can you imagine like just shifting his position for whatever he was? Or if you're a lefty and they don't realize you're a lefty and they want you to play with your right, like nothing is wrong with you. And I think that's the big thing. A lot of the time we think, oh, it's me. Nothing is wrong with you. Sometimes you're just no longer in the right room, no longer positioned the right way. And we like security, especially as women. Like we love security and we love stability, but that's where dreams go and die.
I can imagine helping women like regain that alignment that's been off for some time. They start to regain their self-esteem and their confidence. You got to do the reps. I'm big on the reps.
Reps. Okay, do the reps even when you don't know what to do. You're like, wait, okay, I don't have clarity, Lord. Go do the reps.
Yeah.
Let's start there. Start with the reps, if nothing else.
So tell me about your coaching approach that you take to help women.
It's funny. So I have the 5-pillar method, and that basically we build the foundation. So that's your niche, your brand story, and we help you create your offer. For most of them, it's either a group coaching program or like VIP sessions or one-on-one. So that's the foundation that nobody sees. That's like putting in the reps behind the scene. And then we help you with marketing and sales. Because if you don't know how to sell, and most of my clients have a very love-hate relationship, I think it's most women, with selling, but nothing happens in your business until you sell something. So we got to master those sales conversation and literally give you our sales blueprint, and we role play and practice and all the stuff. So everything you're going to need to go from, I think maybe I should be a coach and I'm not sure, to, oh my gosh, I just got my first high ticket paying clients. You got to be kidding me. There's no way. Everything in between that we cover. But the biggest thing, and I didn't realize it was a thing, is what we talked about. I had a client, her name is Fatima, who was exactly in that situation, worked a 9 to 5. And her frustration was she kept training her managers. And so when she was like, but wait a minute, you bring all these people, I'm training them. So that must mean I know something. Okay. I want that position. And somebody told her, oh, you're never going to get that position just because of the way you look. You're amazing. You're smart. You're a workhorse. But not going to be here, just FYI. And so she got on a call with me and she was like, oh, I'll be down. Oh, I'm going to build my own. And so when we got on a call, she had worked with other coaches before. And so she had some of these feelers, but she felt like something was off. And because she felt like something was off, she couldn't really market because she felt misaligned. And within one session, I was able to be like, oh no, that's not your niche. This is the thing. But I thought every coach could do that. I was like, because I'm a coach, I don't know what the other people, I thought everybody could do that. And one thing she said to me, she said, Sandra, your greatest gift, and I've seen you do this with all of your clients, is the pillars are good. But if I can't really be aligned to my niche, I'm going to build somebody else's business and I'm not going to be able to show up for that business. And so she said to me, the biggest gift that you give your clients is your ability to see them and your ability to take all those pieces of their lives and be able to know when they are missed. Like even when they come to you and they say, no, I'm a relationship coach, you are able to be like, let's explore that further. And so I've come to realize that with the 5 pillar, that's great, but really also just that foundation and making sure that we are building the business for you and not for everybody else, right? So you can actually be in your purpose and carry this thing.
That's powerful. And that's the beauty of us being coaches. We adapt to our clients to fulfill what their needs are in that moment. I hear a lot of flexibility in your approach to working with different clients, but specifically, can you share with us how you differentiate yourself from other coaches out there?
Yeah, so that's a good question. If you had asked me this a year ago, I would have gone on a rant on, oh, we do 12-week coaching program and you get all access and we build your website and we'll write your first ad and you will never get this type of support anywhere else. If we are partners, then we are here for you. That would have been the answer. And all those things are true. But that's not the answer. I don't have to differentiate myself from anybody else. I don't. I just don't. I'm either your coach or I'm not. I don't chase, I attract. I am who I am. I'm not, like I said, I'm not for everybody. The people that click and connect with me that I call to my voice, find us. Yes, we market and all that stuff, but I really believe that there is a thing about picking the right coach. There's an energy transfer there. It's a sacred thing, which is why I said not everybody is called to be a coach. So if you're thinking about, should I work with Sandra? Should I work with Coach Mo? I think the question you have to ask yourself is 2 questions. Number 1, would I go have coffee with them? I think they're cool people, just period. Okay. Number 1. But number 2, do I aspire to have the life that they have? Do I aspire to have their mindset? Because there are things I don't do. I'm not going to teach you how to create a $7 thing. I don't know how to do that. I don't do that. I'm all about high ticket, high impact because you want to leave your 9 to 5. We're not going, unless you're Kim Kardashian. Now, Kim Kardashian came to me. Baby, we're doing a 90-cent community. But for most of my clients, they're introvert. They don't know a bunch of people. And it takes as much money to get a $2K client than it does a $20 client. So I don't do that. If you want to be famous on TikTok, I haven't figured out how to do that. I'm not your coach. And asking yourself, is that what I want? Do I want to be able to homeschool my kids? Do I want to be able to have a business that's 7+ years? Do I want to be able to feel in alignment and have freedom in my life? Do I want to be myself and not get with somebody that's just going to be like, Coach Mo does it. Do what Coach Mo did. Yeah. What do I want? And if Coach Mo feels like your vibe, go with him. Because we can all come on here and give you all the marketing, blah, blah, blah. We are better than you. But I don't got time for that. I don't do that no more.
I love that, though. I love that. And I'm listening to you, and I was like, man, I don't think I even ever answered that question for myself. And as I'm listening to you talk, right, and I'm thinking like, Mo, how do you differentiate yourself? And I have to admit, I show up as one of those vulnerable type coaches, right? That I'm not afraid to share that I'm going through the same shit type stuff that you're going through too.
Oh, I love that.
The difference is for me though, I acknowledge when I'm off the tracks and I just get back on the tracks. That's the difference for me. And I'm not afraid to share that I'm imperfect. I'm not afraid to talk about some of my deficiencies that I may have because of the limiting beliefs and the inner critic that approaches my mindset. But I can acknowledge when I'm off the tracks. And then I say to myself, wait a minute, man, you haven't got your reps in. So let's go back and get our reps back in. And then I'm back in alignment. And then everything is all good. But I show up helping clients and everything like that. But I also share with them, man, I'm going through this stuff too. I'm not perfect. I have
Okay.
inconsistencies. I
Yeah.
have flaws. I have limiting beliefs. And as I perfect myself the best way that I
Yes.
think I can,
Yes.
I pass on the successes and the
Mhm.
tools and the insights so you can apply it in your world as well.
Yes.
And doing that for myself with my clients, I gain a lot of trust.
Oh, I love that. Guys, I hope you heard that because what I heard you say is being yourself is enough, right?
And,
Talk about a substance.
and if you're working with me, the thing is, are you
Mhm.
ready to get the reps in? Because if
Yes.
you're not, don't fool with me. Do not
Mm-mm.
fool with
Don't
me.
waste my time now.
Don't fool with me
Yes.
because that's what we're about too, right? We're about accountability, holding people accountable.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I am not afraid to call clients out when they're not being accountable. And I think that's one of the most powerful things that we bring as coaches is the ability to hold our clients accountable. And a lot of times that's what they need because when they're at these high positions I'm going to go with the organizational structure and you're at a high position, their direct reports aren't going to hold them accountable. So where does the accountability from?
Come
They
from.
have to self hold themselves accountable. But when the reps start to fade and they start getting off track, where does the accountability come from then?
Yeah.
That's where we come into play.
That's it. Yeah. Oh,
I appreciate this conversation. How can you be found now?
so my first and last name.com. That's the website.
How can the audience contact you if they want to connect with you or learn more about your programs?
Absolutely. So it's my first and last name. So sandrakmary.com. Everything is on there. How to find me on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're trying. We don't know what we're doing, but we're on there. TikTok, LinkedIn, all the platforms. We are on there. But yeah, you can find out about the group coaching offers we have, our VIP sessions. I'm doing live event. I haven't done a live talk about a vulnerable moment. I'm gonna because everything has been virtual for me from the beginning. I was like, oh, this is my year, and then COVID happened. And so I did one live experience and then the world shut down. And so this is me coming back, I'll be in the US for about 10 days. And so I'm doing a live event in June and I'm nervous about it because I'm like, are y'all going to show up? What we do? But I'm excited about it. And then I'll do some one-on-one coaching session face to face in Paris and maybe one in Nigeria because I'm traveling. So I'm like, let my people meet me here and in these places and because I think online is powerful and I've done that, but there's something that happens in a room, like face to face, and I've missed that.
That's awesome. Yeah. We hit a lot of different things, but one thing I forgot to ask, do you have a book?
Yes, I do. I have 3 books. But the latest
tell us about the book.
Yeah, so the book that Hiding in Plain Sight was my first book, The Business of You, Hiding in Plain Sight, where it's a call to action for all the women that are hiding behind the title, the logo, and all that stuff. It's girl, let's go, let's do it. If I can do it, you can. But my latest book is called Passion to Profit, and it's the guide to building a 6-figure coaching business. Because not everybody can buy my group coaching program. Not everybody has access to me. And so I was like, you know what? Let me put all the pillars and all the strategies and everything we do in our programs and sell it for $9 so that if you're thinking and wondering, is coaching even a thing for me? Read the book. It's available on Amazon. I'm really proud of it. It launched this year. So really excited.
You should be proud. You should be proud because I know you put a lot of work into getting that published. It's out there now. It's out there. So congratulations with that. Any lasting thoughts? We talked a lot today about leadership, a little bit of fear, reps. What would you like to leave our audience with today?
I remember I'll be at work listening to people's podcasts. Okay. Side Hustle Pro was one. I'm like, how are we going to get out of here? And I remember attending conferences, listening to podcasts like this and thinking to myself, making up stories about these people. Man, Coach Mo doesn't know what it means to be like a woman who got pregnant at 21. She probably comes from like a loving family. I will make up backstories about these people and I'll make them heroes. I think it's Lisa Nichols that says, don't make me a hero. The point of these podcasts and going to conferences and things like that is not for you to make me or you a hero. It's for you to understand that you are the hero of your own story. You are.
Yes.
So I don't want you to listen to me, to Coach Mo, to anybody else and dismiss what your own power is. The goal is to ignite something in you so that you understand that you always had it in you. Yes, you might need that accountability. Yes, you might need to buy the book. Yes, you might need to join our coaching program, but we don't give you the power. God can do that. We can't. And so all of that power, all of the things, everything you've gone through, even the bad things, even the things that you think make you disqualified are actually part of your story. That's what he was talking about when he said, I show up and say, I'm not perfect. Here's what I'm still struggling with, but here I am, still I stand. And I want you to know that the fact that you're listening to a podcast and not staying in despair, the fact that you are still seeking information, the fact that there's a thing inside of you that tells you can be better, you can be bigger, there's a thing, there's a dream inside of you. You are not just called, you are qualified. And so let's be clear on what we are saying we can do for you. We can't make you great because you're already great. We can guide you. We can give you some shortcut, but I want you to know no matter what, I don't care what's happening. I don't care if they fired you. I don't care if your kids don't talk to you. I don't care what's going on in your life. I want you to hear me loud and clear. And I'm going to tell you, nothing happens when you hide in plain sight. It might feel safe. It might feel like, oh, I'm everybody's friend. And I said, at least I got my people. Nothing good happens while you hide in plain sight. So if I can do it, if Coach Mo can do it, I want you to know, hear me loud and clear, that you have everything you've ever needed to become that next version of yourself. We believe in you. We believe in your potential. We believe that you are one decision away. It doesn't have to be the new year. It doesn't have to be on Monday. It can be right now in this moment. And people don't got to celebrate you. People don't even have to see it. Actually, I want them to not see it. But people be like, but wait a minute, I talked to you 2 months ago and I thought, I want you to be a surprise for people. So I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to get that energy back. I want you to put in your reps because you are great. You've always been great. And I've always known that this version of you that's listening to us, right, existed, and you can get to that next phase. So Coach Mo, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited to have connected with you, and I can't wait for us to do great things together in the future.
Boom. Mic drop. I appreciate you. Thank you, Miss Sandra. You set the tone for the rest of my week with that last message. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in this episode of Let's Think About It. Your time and attention are greatly appreciated. If you found value in today's discussion, I encourage you to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Remember, the journey of self-improvement is ongoing, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. Connect with me on social media for updates and insights. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Coach Mo Coaching or LinkedIn at Maurice Mabry. Or visit my website at mauricemabry.com for exclusive content. Until next time, keep reflecting, keep growing, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Remember, the most effective way to do it is to do it. Together, we're making incredible strides toward a better and more empowered you. So thank you, and I'll see you in our next episode.